Hello guys, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be learning about photosynthesis and respiration, extended study of respiration. Before I start the video, make sure this is about Leaving Cert Biology higher level. Before I start the video, make sure you like and subscribe, and make sure you check our channel for more videos like these. And yeah, and don't forget to comment down below for any questions. And yeah, let's begin. Photosynthesis. Overview of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process by which green plants use sunlight to synthesize food. So this is basically how plants make their food and get energy and get the nutrients to grow. Photosynthesis is the process by which green plants use sunlight to synthesize food. It occurs in chloroplasts using chlorophyll absorb light energy. It is a two-stage process, the light stage and the dark stage. Chemical equation. This is really important about for Leaving Cert Biology about photosynthesis, what the chemical equation of photosynthesis is, and it is 6CO2 plus 6H2O plus light energy equals C6H12O6 plus 6O2. The two stages of photosynthesis. Light stage, light dependent, requires light and occurs in the thylakoid membranes. Dark stage, light independent, does not require light, occurs in the stroma. The dark stage depends on the products of the light stage. The light stage is really important as it requires light and occurs in the thylakoid membranes. The dark stage is really important as it's a light independent, does not require light, occurs in the stroma. The dark stage depends on the products of the light stage. Light stage, energy transfers. Light energy is absorbed by chlorophyll. Electrons are energized and leave the chlorophyll molecule. These electrons follow one of two paths to produce useful energy compounds. Again, this is really important about how light energy is absorbed by the chlorophyll and about how electrons are energized and leave the chlorophyll molecule. These electrons and how these electrons follow one of two paths to produce useful energy compounds. Pathway 1. Electron flow and ATP formation. Energized electrons return directly to chlorophyll. As they pass through an electron transport chain, ATP is formed. This is known as cyclic photophosphorylation. ATP is then used in dark stage. This is really important that the pathway 1 electron flow and ATP and how the ATP is formed. So basically the energized electrons return directly to chlorophyll. As they pass through the electron transport chain, ATP is formed. This is known as phosphorylation, and ATP is then used in the dark stage. Pathway 2. Electrons flow and NADPH formation. Energized electrons are not returned to chlorophyll. They are used to reduce NADP plus to NAD minus P minus. This is a non-cyclic phosphorylation. NADP minus attracts H plus ions to form NADPH. So this is basically how energized electrons don't return back to the chlorophyll after they're used, and they are used to reduce to NADP plus, and just turns into NADP minus. It goes to a plus to a minus. And NADP minus attracts to H plus ions from NADPH. Photolysis of water. Water is split by light energy in the liquid lumen. Equation H2O equals 2H plus 2E minus plus 1/2 of O2. Electrons replace those lost by chlorophyll. Protons H plus are used to form NADPH. Oxygen is released by a product. Products of the light stage. ATP provides energy from the dark stage. NADPH provides electrons and protons for reducing carbon dioxide. OT, released in the atmosphere of used in respiration. So ATP provides energy for the dark stage, NADPH provides electrons and protons for reducing carbon dioxide, and O2 released in the atmosphere or used in the respiration. Really important. Dark stage. Carbon fixation takes place in the stroma. Does not require light but uses ATP and NADPH from the light stage. CO2 is reduced to carbohydrates. So the chemical equation of a carbohydrate is CX brackets H2O brackets Y. Energy from ATP are reducing power from NADPH are essential. So energy from ATP which are and reducing power from NADPH are essential for carbon fixation in the dark stage. Are essential. Dark stage role of ATP and NADPH. ATP supplies the energy needed for the conversion of CO2 into carbohydrates. NADPH donates hydrogen, ions, and electrons. CO2 is fixed through a series of enzyme-controlled reactions. Again, really important how ATP supplies energy needed for the conversion of CO2 into carbohydrates. NADPH, hydrogen, ions, and electrons. CO2 is fixed through a series of enzyme-controlled reactions. Regeneration of ADP and NADP+. Once ATP is used, it becomes ADP and phosphate. NADPH becomes NADP plus after donating electrons and H plus. Both ADP and NADP plus returns to the light stage for recharging. Overview of respiration. Respiration is the controlled release of energy from food. It occurs in all living cells. 2 stages: anaerobic without oxygen and aerobic with oxygen. So basically the definition of anaerobic is that it needs oxygen, and aerobic doesn't with anaerobic does not need oxygen, and aerobic needs oxygen. Aerobic needs oxygen. Overall equation: aerobic C6H12O6 plus 6O2 equals to 6CO2 plus 6H2O plus energy ATP. Stage 1 of respiration, glycolysis, occurs in the cytoplasm. Glucose 6-carbon is broken into 3-carbon privative molecules. A small amount of ATP is produced. Does not require oxygen. Anaerobic pathway fermentation. If oxygen is absent, pyruvative undergoes fermentation. In animals, pyruvative to lactic acid. In yeast, pyruvative to ethanol plus CO2. Fermentation does not produce more ATP. Stage 2, aerobic respiration, occurs in the mitochondria. Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Pyruvative is converted to acetyl CoA, and CO2 is released. acetyl CoA, acetyl CoA enters Krebs cycle. Krebs cycle, really important for leaving cert biology. Series of enzymes control. Krebs cycle is a series of enzymes control reactions in the mitochondrial matrix. Acetyl CoA is broken down to CO2. Hydrogen ions are electrons which are captured by NAD+ to form NADH. Some ATP is produced directly. Electron transport chain, ETC. NADH carries electrons to the inner mitochondrial membrane. Electrons pass along the ETC, releasing energy. This energy is used to make large amounts of ATP. Oxygen acts as the final electron acceptor, forming water. Produces of respiration: carbon dioxide from the Krebs cycle, water from the ETC, ATP, high energy yield from aerobic respiration, approximately 36 ATP per glucose. Energy is used for all cellular processes. Summary of key concepts. Photosynthesis is a two-stage process, light and dark stages. Light stage produces ATP and NADH. Dark stages uses these to fix CO2 into carbohydrates. Respiration also involves two stages, glycolysis and aerobic respiration. Krebs cycle and ETC produces CO2, water, and ATP. Energy transformation is vital for all life processes. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and make sure you check out our channel for more videos like these before. And make sure you comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time for any questions. And I'll see you guys next time.